All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning and welcome back to fishing. Sorry, it's not morning, it's afternoon, I lied. Anyways, it's been a little while, believe it or not, since I've recorded my most recent successful video. A little over a week, which isn't that much, but that might be a surprise with the way I've been, you know, dishing these videos out. But that being said, I've had some things come up in the last week, nothing major, just little inconveniences that have made it tough to fish. I've had car issues, and yesterday I did attempt to go out when I got my car back, but my fish finder broke. Basically, one of the prongs that connected to power just got completely corroded and was destroyed, so I can't turn the thing on. Fortunately, I had the foresight to purchase a protection plan for that, so I'm in the process of getting that sorted out. But in the meantime, since this time is so precious, I've already ordered a new fish finder, the exact same one, so it could immediately just be wired into this kayak without me having to take everything out and put it back in, only to take it out again because, as you might know if you've been following the channel, this is a Lent kayak. Whatever. With that being said, it was a surprise that happened yesterday, but it's not today, so I have adjusted. You know, I could just wait for this fish finder to show up and twiddle my thumbs, or fish inshore, but I really think my best bet and option right now to try and catch big fish is to get in the water on the kayak. So with that being said, I did prepare. I downloaded the Navionics app to my phone. I do have Navionics for my fish finder, but obviously that's not going to do me much good without the fish finder. I know where I want to fish. It's just having the charts available to show me those fish. So we're making our way out to the first spot, and there's a couple spots I'd like to try today. Tide is just peaked. We got full moon, so it's going to be moving once it starts going out. Slight wind versus tide, but the wind should be subsiding throughout the day. At least that's what the forecast said. Obviously means nothing. Means something, but whatever. Enough talking. Let's get on some fishing, and hopefully with a little luck, we will get some fishing accomplished. All right, so we're out here. As I said earlier, wind versus tide, no fish finder, so this is going to be a bit of an interesting day, to say the least. But we're going to fish with a 1 ounce Spro bucktail tip with a 4-inch gulps grub chartreuse. I prefer white, but this is what I can get. It's a slight wind versus tide, so we're going to face into the wind. Tide is more or less slack. It should be starting to pick up in the next probably hour or so, and it is full moon, so it's going to really be moving once it gets going. So let's give this a shot and see what we can pick up. All right, let's get it down there. One thing that's helpful to me, and I noticed this yesterday and hasn't changed, is usually there aren't any kind of real landmarks or watermarks, whatever you want to call them here, but we have some lobster pots in the water that have not been here while I've been fishing here this summer, so this will at least help me today. I don't expect these to be here tomorrow or any of the other spots I fish, but something to really help me guide through these drifts. All right, let's see how 1 ounce holds. I know it won't be enough likely later in this session, but for now it should do the trick. And once it doesn't, we will switch to a 1.5 ounce Spro bucktail. And we might upsize the gulp too, or switch to a fat cow jig strip combo, depending on how quickly we're burning through the gulp, as I don't want to exhaust my supply, especially if it's just for porgies and baby sea bass. It may look bad out here, but oh dang. It may look bad out here, but it's nowhere near as bad as it looks. Truth be told, yesterday when it was wind and tide together, we were flying, and it got a little bumpy, to say the least, and I called it pretty early. But as I said earlier, the forecast has the wind dying down throughout the day rather than picking up, which is what was happening yesterday. So fingers crossed this is the worst of it. Ooh, yeah. That could be something decent. Lightening up. It's lightening up a lot. It's definitely a fluke. Definitely a fluke. For a second it felt nice. Now it feels tiny. Oh, well, that might explain it. Not only is it not a fluke, but it's foul hooked. Dang you. Darn you, sea robin. Throw you on for bait just for that. Sea robin central. But what else is there? That is the question. Oh, sea biscuit, I think. Feels decent. Doesn't feel huge. No, weak fish? Weak fish, yeah, first weak fish of the year. Not a bad one. Not a bad start at all. Look at the colors in that guy. Yeah, I'll take a picture of you. Heck yeah. About time. Took all summer. It's a nice little tide runner. Not a tide runner, but nice fish. First weak fish of the year. Solid 20-incher. Get a quick measure, quick release. Of course, this thing's all screwed up right now. Oh, you almost didn't get measured. And you still don't want to be measured. This fish is about 20 inches. See you later, buddy. A long overdue first weak fish of the season. Not that that's something I expect. I mean, up until, gosh, 5 or 6 years ago, I never even caught a weak fish, period, let alone every single year. But they've definitely been more prevalent out here than they have been, at least when I was young. So it'd be cool if we can get something really big, weak fish wise, but I'm not holding my breath on that. But I'm happy with a 20-incher. But I'd be even happier with a 20-inch fluke. So let's try that again. All right, let's see if we can get some more weak fish, some more fluke, or any fluke. Sea bass, whatever. I thought that was going to be a sea bass the way he was pulling, but I knew something was up. Slightly different fight. Sea bass tend to really throw their weight into it and dig down when you get into them. Weak fish is a bit more consistent of a fight, whereas sea bass, it's like really big pulls and then a little bit less, just because they're a bit more bulbous in their shape. Okay, let me just take a moment. If you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button. If you really like what I bring to the table, please consider subscribing. And if you have subscribed, thank you as always. Let's see if we can get this video above 50 likes. I think this is going to be a real banger, and I promise you this video only gets better as we continue forward. You're going to want to see how this thing ends. Ooh, either sea bass or a weak fish, or a really, really small fluke. Not a bad sea bass. Happy to see you guys down there for sure. Oh, we don't want that. Come on, there's no need for that. That was what you should have been doing a couple minutes ago. You're close, but you're not legal. 13, 14-incher. Chunky guy. So far it's sea robin, sea bass, and sea trout or weak fish. 3 different fish, 3 different species. Let's keep it going. That's a nice fish. That might be a sea robin though. Technically, if this is the other kind of sea robin, this will be our 4th species. And I do think it's the other kind of sea robin now that I'm fighting them. Yeah, that's a different kind of sea robin. I'm counting it. That's 4 species. There's 2 different kinds of sea robin you catch out here. There's like the northern sea robin, and the other one I forget what it's called, but this is different than the one we got earlier. If you don't believe me, check out that first fish. Here's something really small. I don't even know what that could be. Maybe like a tiny. This is what's happening to all my gulp right here. What are you even thinking, buddy? Trying to go through the trap door. Wow, that sea bass was so small he would have made like perfect bait. Of course I wouldn't do that, but bears are marking. That's a fluke, I think. Indeed. All right. Species number 5. Better late than never. Okay, hopefully where there's one fluke, there's many more. And bigger ones. All right, we just got snagged in the bottom. And I couldn't get it back, so we're fishing with a 1.5 ounce spro bucktail just because the tide is starting to move a bit faster, and this will make it easier to hold bottom. It is a little sloppy out here, but still nothing that we haven't dealt with before, so we'll stick it out for a bit. All right, we made a bit of a move, fishing a different stretch bottom. Wasn't really getting anything too great over in the other spot anymore. And I just kept getting snagged in the bottom. So we're gonna try a different spot. Maybe it's one I've used or fished before, I'm not entirely sure. But looking at the chart, it's pretty clear that there's some interesting stuff going on here. So let's try it out. Got nothing to lose from coming here, and we can always go back to the other spot. Little bit deeper here, not much. Ooh, yeah, that's a decent fish. It's a fluke. Yeah, it's getting light, but it's worth going over that drift again. Try that again. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. Hello. Oh nope, he's still on there. Just lost a lot of weight for whatever reason. Really small. Definitely a fluke. Best fluke of the day. Not a keeper though. A 16, 17 incher. There we go. Ooh, yeah. It felt so promising at first. Felt good. Let's get it back down. It wasn't on there very long. Come on. Oh yeah. Wow, big fish, big fish, big fish. This one's really big. This one's not a 5-pounder, I know that. Holy shit. Big fish. We're gonna call it after this if we get this fish. This thing is on another level. On another level. Woo! Oh man, this is gonna be hairy with this insane tide. Jesus. Pull and drag. Might be foul hooked, I don't know. Whew. Holy crap. It's been a long way coming for this fish, but he's not in the boat yet. It's been a long time since I hooked a fish like this. Oh my God. You got color. Oh boy. Oh boy. 10-pounder. 10-pounder. Oh my God! Yes! Insane. That's 10. That is 10. And now and that fish almost hopped out of the net. Insane. But we're gonna get him stringed up because this guy is not flopping out of the boat. Never ever again. Never ever again. This thing is massive. Oh my God, Ted alone. No, 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 you're not doing that. No way. No way, Brose. You are not flopping out of this boat. This thing is potentially my PB. God. All right, he's on the stringer. Just make sure we're not stuck on anything. We are. Oh my God. What a monster. What a monster. All right, let's see what we're working with. This thing might be 10. Oh my God, it's not hooked up to the boat yet, so we can't let this fish flop out. Oh my God, what a mess. What a mess. All right. A couple things need to happen. This needs to get out of his mouth. And in case you're wondering, yes, fat cow jig strip did him in. Oh man, he is hooked good. That's what I like to know. Hooked very good. All right. This ruler is behind me, so we're gonna do this. And we're gonna turn this around so no one can tell me that I'm misreading this. Man, this is a big one. All right, this fish. And he's about 28 inches, so he might not be double digits. Gonna be at least pushing 9. Sick. Folks, no fish finder, no problem. 28-inch fluke right there. Gotta be pushing 9 pounds, 8.5, 9 pounds. Best fluke of the season for me, one of my best. Not my PB probably, but it's gonna be up there. We'll get an official weight at the end of this video in the car. Oh. That was a rush, folks. I know I said I'd call it after that fish, but you know what? We got to give that another go, because there could be another one down there. There could even be a bigger one down there for all we know. So it's not even that late. Like, what time is it right now? It is almost 5, so I got a little while longer to fish. Depending on how it is, by 5:30 I'll think about calling it off. But wow, that was a much needed big fluke, a big moral victory. I was wondering if I'd be able to sneak one in before the end of July, and we did, without a fish finder nonetheless. Let's see if we can make lightning strike twice. Not holding my breath at all, but perhaps there's another nice fish down there, or even just an okay fish. I'll be okay with that. I think this is gonna be my last drift in this spot. I'm gonna start making my way back. There's a couple spots of interest on Navionics that I want to check out, but otherwise this very well could be it. In fact, I don't even think you're gonna be hearing this unless something happens either in this drift or one of the following ones. So fingers crossed. I hope you're rooting for future Dan here. All right, folks, I think that's gonna do it for today's session. Making my way in, it's about 6 o'clock. I might try some really shallow water jigging on the way in just to see if anything's moving in real shallow, because it does seem like there's more bait in the water. But otherwise, this will probably do it for today's session. And what a session. I gotta say, I was this close to not going fishing on the kayak today. Things went just slightly differently. I wouldn't have went out. Not that that would have been a problem, but I was really on the fence. And one thing that was kind of tipping me away from fishing was the fact that I didn't have my fish finder up and running. But as I said at the beginning of the video, this time I came prepared, and I'm glad I did, because I don't think I would have gotten that fish had I not, you know, prepared for getting out in the water minus the fish finder. You know, having the charts ready, being ready to stay on top of those charts to make sure we're fishing exactly where we want to get. We might not have the play-by-play of what's happening under the boat in real time, but at least if we know what the depth is and where we are relative to other things, you can be pretty precise. And you have to remember, you know, 50 years ago, none of this stuff really existed for recreational fishermen. So don't let little things like that hold you back from really trying to get the fishing done that you want to get, or any little thing that, you know, might not be going your way. All in all, we still had a great time fishing, and even without that doormat, it still would have been a fun session. Some shallow jigging a chance. Probably fishing like no more than 15 or 20 feet of water here, but we've gotten some good fluke here, usually from the shore. All right, we've drastically downsized our presentation. We're fishing no more than a ½ ounce jig head by itself, with a 4-inch gulp grub, both chartreuse. Tide's not really moving either, so it's not ideal time, but I do think there's more bait in the water than there has been. Just reeled it up and had a fluke follow it up. Let's see if we can get him to come back. Didn't look huge, but it'd be fun to catch another fish. Come on, buddy, it's still there. He's got it. Missed it. Try again. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, easy peasy. Look at all this micro bait. All right, well, we got one small fluke. Definitely should be a few more. But that fish threw up a ton of like micro bait. Looked like micro spearing or something, so I'd have to imagine whatever they're eating is really small. That might make them a bit finicky to hit. You know, this size gulp. Might be wise to downsize. Ooh. Another fluke. That's better-ish. Not a keeper. Maybe. nice little short. Let's see if we can pick up another keeper maybe. Well, they're in shallow. Getting closer. All right, so we're gonna try and get this fish weighed. Perfect timing, my scale, either the battery crapped out or the scale itself did. So I'm gonna try and do a little running around to see if I can find a scale at a tackle shop, marina, basin, whatever. And if not, I'll see if I can shake down a battery or potentially a scale if one of my friends has one. Stay tuned. All right, so we just took the Fluke to the marina and got it weighed. Pretty solid. Before I even flash the picture with the weight on it, I'll just let you know, when you get a Fluke over like say 25, 26, you'll see them get tremendously broader and fatter and heavier. But more importantly, B, when they get up to like 26, 27 and above, you start to see a lot of variety in the weight of the fish. Like I've heard of, you know, 27, high 27 fish, sub 28, going 10. Rare, like that's the exception, not the rule. And I've also heard of 30-inch fish not making 10. So that fish, as the picture I'm hoping to flash right now, went exactly 9.1, which is right around where I was expecting. I figured worst case scenario, just 8 flat. Best case scenario, maybe 10, but I didn't really think that fish was gonna go 10. So that puts it as my third biggest Fluke of all time. 2 summers ago, I got my number 1 at 10.75. Last summer, I got a 9.35, 9.36, and this one is number 3 at 9.10, so solid. Hopefully the footage turned out well, and hopefully you enjoyed. I've already asked for the shakedown of the like and subscribe, but while we're here again, why not like and subscribe? So that's gonna do it. Hopefully not the last doormat of the season, or big fish for that matter. So stay tuned for more stuff soon. Goodbye from Fishin.